Hey y'all! I'm in Watasha.
I'm Demi J.
And welcome to
Royally Speaking.
Thank you for watching our show. We're gonna go right into our wheel of topics so we can pick our topic. And once we get it, we're gonna go straight into it. Are we in school? Is this in school? Okay.
So this is the girl that had a Lyft.
Oh, this is, what's her name? Dank Demoss?
Yeah.
So apparently she's some type of rapper.
Yeah. I never heard of her though.
I never heard of her either. I never heard of her until recently. All the stuff started happening with the whole
Lyft driver situation.
Yeah, with the Lyft driver situation. So how much did you say she weighs?
489 or something like that.
I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot. So I would say, here's what happened. The Lyft driver, she called a Lyft. The Lyft driver came, refused to let her in because of her size. They were saying that they didn't want to damage their car. And apparently it was a Prius. But it wasn't an SUV or a van or a big truck or nothing like that. And it wasn't a Tesla. Those Teslas look small, they be like roomy in the inside, so it wasn't even that. But I have so many different thoughts on this. Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I got a picture of her, but I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I forgot.
Well, all right. I mean, she got the driver fired. I guess like she complained about it. They had this big thing about it. Came out. She was saying it was discrimination. And the world, America needs to make accommodations for people of her size.
Yeah. And the Lyft driver got fired for it. That's crazy. And she's suing Lyft.
Now, is this right? This is very controversial. And you're about to hear my opinion, and I don't know how y'all gonna feel about this. I consider myself a big girl. I know that I can't fit everywhere. I mean, I can fit in a car. I don't weigh that much. And if I did, I think I would try to be more understanding that there's a possibility that I can't fit everywhere. Or even if I could fit, it would be a tight squeeze. There could be some problems. I'll tell you right now, there's some roller coasters. If I get on it and that little thing don't click the way I want it to click, I'm not doing it. Y'all can't have that. I'm not even taking a chance. No discrimination, no money back, no nothing. I am not doing it to myself.
Right.
You know, and I know sometimes they make certain people buy 2 tickets on a flight, and I believe she's saying that that's not fair. So I would say after a certain size, you as the person who is that size might need to be a little more understanding. I know people are going to hate that I said I know. And I know I'm a member of the Big Mac community. I just don't think that everything should get bigger just because some people are big. Like, I just don't think it's right. But
yeah, maybe I should at least show what she looks like. So I'm gonna find one of the videos like I can play that one.
Okay, we'll find the video so you can see what she looks like. But 489.
I guess you could visualize it.
I mean, you like really one ice cream cake away from my, 600 pound life? Maybe 600. She's on it, right?
I'm sorry. That she went to the
make sure you put it on the screen too.
Yeah. She went to the breakfast club. I know that was one of the words I could not say growing up.
I catch that every time. Everybody, don't feel bad. I catch everybody on that. Sorry.
So after she got all that attention after doing that with the Lyft driver, the Breakfast Club decided to entertain her.
Entertain her, right?
Breakfast Club.
They seem to be on her side.
How you? You good? What's going on? Nice to meet you. Hi. How you, brother? You good? Nice to meet you, kids.
This the only seat y'all got? What you want? What you need? A bigger chair or something. She already little.
We had
That's what I'm talking about. Good.
I'm not. Why y'all make me look at that?
Why they do that when she worked there?
You like when you say they entertained her. They really said, did they call her Big Dick when she came in?
Yeah, Charlamagne was clowning.
So I was about to say, does she like to be called Big Dick? He said, what's up, Big Dick?
Yeah. Right. But
the belly out?
He was not on her side. At least Charlamagne wasn't.
Okay. I know Lizzo did it.
Her belly was out. I missed it.
You missed it. You gotta go back to it. All right. I know Lizzo had her body out, but Lizzo, I don't know. It was different. I'm not body shaming. Again, I'm a member of the big back community.
Yeah, of course not.
She asked for a bigger chair. They had to get
the whole section of
basically
the
like that was like a bench.
Yeah.
And I mean it was cute. But she said this is what I'm talking about, accommodation. So does she want everybody to have a couch for her?
She want everybody to accommodate.
How does she sit down in the school? You went to school, like elementary school, they had them little chair desks. Did you have that? The chair that was attached to the desk? You sit in the chair and then the desk is attached?
Oh, I see. She got the halter top. Okay.
How did she get into that? Did the school bring out a couch for her? How do you even sit at a regular desk? Or maybe she wasn't that size in school because we don't know. She already a grown up. She's already an adult now, so we don't know. Okay. And trust me, I'm just trying to figure out how she expects everybody to accommodate this. How is everybody going to accommodate you in this situation? It is given entitled a little bit.
Yes, very much entitled.
And don't get me wrong. I know how easy it is to get big. You don't have to be trying. It will just happen. But I think, being understanding a lot of times also helps people to better understand you. Like, you can't expect people to understand you if you can't understand where they're coming from, too.
And be self-aware of what might not be okay.
Being self-aware, yes. Being self-aware.
That could be a health problem, too. There's something wrong with that.
I'm not mad at the Lyft driver. I actually feel bad that they got fired because, maybe there was a specific way they were supposed to handle it. Does Lyft pay for your damages to your car? I don't know. Like, what if damages did happen? What if they got a flat or something? I know that you can get a flat if there's too much weight on one side of your car or your tire.
Exactly.
It could be a mess. Like I said, it's given entitled. Maybe I'm way too humble or I'm way too understanding, but just try to be a little bit understanding. And that's all I'm going to say. And on all sides, Lyft should be a little bit more understanding towards her and towards the driver. This is kind of like a business you have, right? Because you kind of work for Lyft, but you're really using your own vehicle.
Yeah.
And that's your vehicle, so you still have to use that for whatever else. And you're liable for the vehicle
Right, yeah, you're right. They're not going to do anything if you get any damages to your vehicle.
Yeah.
Like that.
Right. So I just feel like firing him, that was just, I don't know. Yeah. Firing the driver, I think that was a bit much. Maybe they could have did some retraining or come up with some new provisions in the rules or whatever, but just to accommodate. Does she have a whole bunch of people on her side?
Yeah, it seems
advocating for her.
It seems like the news and everybody was on her side. She has a whole bunch of advocates, a team that she's building up for her court case. A lot of people are on her side. But
maybe there's a reason. Maybe the driver didn't just have to leave it. Maybe they should have called somebody else. Maybe they should have been like, I'm going to make sure you get taken care of or whatever. I'm going to help you get another lift. However it is, or maybe they should ask people. No, they do ask you what size car you want, though. Don't you have the option to get an extra large car?
Yeah, she said she didn't. She said she feels like she shouldn't have to get an XL. That's what she said.
I better stop giving my opinion. Because if you take one of them small cars, there's certain cars. I'm just because I'm kind of tall for a girl. There's certain cars I don't even want you to come and pick me up because I will be uncomfortable. My knees will be all hurting if you try to pick me up in a little something small. Yeah. Some of the little tight cars I can't fit in the back. I'm not even gonna try. I don't even weigh that much, but I'm talking about just because I'm kind of tall for a girl. I don't even like my knees being up to a certain point, pushing up against something and stuff like that. Because I personally will be uncomfortable. I don't even ask for those small cars. I'm not rich. I'm not a rapper, and I don't make a lot of money because apparently she got money. And a lot of times I go ahead and pay for the is it the upgrade? I think it's XL. Yeah, I think it's XL. Yeah, because it's so much more comfortable.
Yeah, I think I should just play at least what she said since I didn't even play that.
Yeah, at least play what she said. But that's it. I'm not gonna keep talking because I ain't nobody to get canceled, but I don't even want nobody to start saying I don't even want nobody to start thinking I am discriminating against nobody. I don't even think that.
I'm so busy in the park. Dajua Blanding's recorded it all. Her Lyft driver pulling up only to turn her down.
I was too big in his tires. Something about his tires. I asked him, what do I have to do with your tires?
This happened January 18th. The 29-year-old Detroiter was headed to a Lions watch party, only she never got there.
So you telling me I can't get in a Lyft because I can't fit in your car? What makes you think I can't fit in your car? I'm sorry.
The driver told her she needed to request an XL car.
I was embarrassed, and I feel some type of way about it, you know.
She's hired a lawyer and is suing Lyft.
Well, from a legal standpoint, it seems like obvious discrimination. The Elliott-Larsen Act, which is Michigan's Civil Rights Act, specifically protects people from weight discrimination. And the driver here turned down her ride because of her weight.
Dajua says this experience has scarred her.
I haven't really left my house since then.
She hopes this lawsuit will change how people treat others of all sizes.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
So it seems like a lot of them were on her side for whatever reason.
I mean, I guess there is discrimination. I guess there are discrimination laws against people in general, different, you know, and there are discrimination against overweight people. But I mean, I don't know if that was specifically discrimination, like, oh, just because you're big, you can't come. I think it was more like, I don't want to risk something happening to my car.
Yes, I'm sure.
Like, I think it's a little different.
Yeah, I'm sure whatever that cost, whatever he was going to get paid from that Lyft wasn't going to be worth messing up his car.
Yeah. I don't think it was literally like, I just don't like fat people. I think he was more like, this scares me. Like, I'm a little afraid of what might happen.
Yes.
And I don't want to take that chance. It's like, I felt like the driver is more like, I just don't want to take this risk. As opposed to, I just don't like you know, which is with discrimination, is you just discriminating against somebody because you don't like the way they look or whatever it is. Right. But I think that had more to do with some actual concern.
I don't agree with discrimination.
Anyway, but there are discrimination laws, so they get to sue and all of that type of stuff, and you got to go through all of this. And maybe this to make more, maybe this to give me a better understanding. Maybe I'm wrong. Apparently, I'm wrong. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and spin the wheel. That was it on that, right?
Yeah.
She taking it to court?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. All right, I guess we'll find out then. We'll find out how everything goes with that. All right. Time to spin our wheel. Yeah, we got to take that topic off. Then we got to spin again. I hope you can see the spin. We go straight from talking about, is it me or is there a lawsuit for everything that's going? There's a lawsuit.
Yeah, this is the era of lawsuits.
Yes. Everywhere you go.
A lawsuit for everything.
So Diddy filed a lawsuit against NBC.
NBC and Peacock.
Oh, and Peacock. Well, same thing.
Yeah.
For is this a documentary? Or some type of thing they made about him?
Yeah, it was a documentary. It was the Diddy documentary. I forgot what it's called. You said what it was called.
I know, I said what it was called. Of course, I don't remember what it was called right now. It'll come to me eventually.
The Fall of Diddy. I think that might have been.
Yeah, the Fall of Diddy, yeah. Anyway, it's for defamation, right? A defamation lawsuit.
Yes.
So here's the thing about defamation. It is hard to prove. And the problem with Diddy is, how can you defame Diddy at this point? Like, does he have a good reputation right now?
No.
I mean, so you already, so this needs, whatever your reputation is, has to be being damaged. So this came out, I think this is the one that came out 3 days ago, right? Okay, so let's start with elements
of what happened with that one. I guess we should start with.
Well, let's start what happened, and then we'll go with how you prove it.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna look at a video.
Yeah, we're gonna look at the video that TMZ had.
Oh, I'm so scared to play TMZ videos, but let's look at it. We'll just live with it.
Diddy has filed a huge lawsuit from his prison cell because there's a documentary that's out about him that his people said that they saw this coming. They warned NBC multiple times, don't do this till they released it. And so now Diddy has filed a lawsuit in New York State against NBCUniversal, Peacock, yes, a defamation suit, and the company that produced the documentary, and for $100 million, at least he wants $100 million in damages. And you may think, you know, we've heard over the last year and a half, almost 2 years now, all sorts of allegations against Diddy, and he has heard all of them, and he's indicted for some of them. What was it that crossed the line for him this time? The big thing in the documentary is the allegation that he was involved in murdering Kim Porter and other. Well, I just want to correct. Kim Porter was not murdered. That's according to authorities. That the LA County coroner said she died of natural causes related to pneumonia, and that there was absolutely no foul play. He says his people, once they got a heads up from the producers that they were making this documentary, pointed that out to them and said, don't do this. But in this documentary, he says they're not really even dealing with the allegations laid out in the indictment, or even most of them laid out in the lawsuits. It's sort of conspiracy theories that have been circulated on the internet, and that's what the documentary gets into, and that's why he's saying this is absurd.
Now that was a lot of that was a nice little chunk of that TMZ clip.
That was a minute.
Okay. Anyway, in case y'all don't end up seeing it, it's because TMZ didn't let us use it. But hopefully we get it through. Anyway, they were basically saying that Diddy is suing Peacock, NBC, and the producers or whoever for $100 million for defamation, and it's mostly because of the conspiracy.
The main difference between this one and other documentaries is the Kim Porter thing. They're pretty much alleging that he had something to do with her unaliving, which it wasn't unaliving.
What was her death period?
Right,
which is not really how it went.
Right, it was. They said she died from pneumonia.
Right, but they try to say like he is it, so he can't cause pneumonia. I'm assuming so.
So there are a couple weird things about that too. I don't really want to get into all of that.
Either way, he's saying that so they have like conspiracy theories and stuff that's not hasn't been proven to be true. He still has trial for everything, and nothing is proven yet. And the whole innocent till proven guilty. However, we still have to go into how you prove defamation, and that is what's hard. And again, you already have to have a somewhat good reputation in order to be defamed.
Yes.
And I feel like, what are we defaming at this point?
Yeah, it's like at this point, everybody has caused some type of harm to his reputation. It's like piling on and piling on and piling on. There's so many different people that are saying, some might not even be true, but there's just so many people saying so many things about him that are very defamatory.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know.
And then, all the stuff you got to prove in court. Number one, you got to prove fault.
Yeah.
That means you have to prove that this person was negligent, and this has to be a published document in the first place. So we already know it's published because it's a documentary. So we didn't even have to go to that part. So that part they got. But then you have to prove that they were negligent, which means they maybe forgot to erase facts or didn't do the fact finding or just didn't care.
Do fact checking. So this kind of parallels with a little bit with the Chris Brown defamation suit against the one he's doing against, what is it? I forgot what he's doing it for, but it's for the people that made the documentary about him that pretty much said he sexually assaulted people and all type of stuff, that they was mixing truth in with a lie, and they didn't fact check on that, on those type of cases too. So.
Is that what's happening here?
This don't seem like what he's suing for, but that also is what's going on seemingly too. But I don't
mixing
know.
truth in with the lie. Because I feel like
I don't know how this got so out of control. I don't know how you could narrow it down to just one person or one thing with him. There's been so much going on for so long.
Okay.
I think that's one of the differences.
Yeah, well, there are a few things. So it just seems like in this particular case, it's going to be hard to prove because of everything else that's going on with Diddy right now. Again, we shall see. We shall see. But there's a lot. There's definitely a lot to consider. And I mean, he has enough money to hire lawyers and stuff to do all this investigation. So they're going to do a good job. It's going to be interesting.
It seems like he might get some people on his side too. I think like Kanye was one of the people saying that.
Kanye, yes. Kanye definitely is on Diddy's side. But the thing is, you have to another reason why it's hard to prove defamation is because of free speech.
Yes.
And there's like a thin line between
free speech and defamatory language. And
then you got factual statements and opinions and
then there are some things people could say that are just disparaging to you. It could ruin your life, technically. It could put you behind bars, like kind of what happened to him. If they're
now, does that mean it's defamatory? If it does, because it could, in Cassie's case, it's true.
In Cassie's case, it's true, but
so then it's not defamation.
And that's what I'm saying. There's 100 people going against him. So in Cassie's case, she could prove the abuse. There's a video of it. But there's like hundreds of other people going against Diddy that might not even be able to be proven with what they're saying.
Because I was just saying, just because it can put you behind bars doesn't make it defamation.
What makes it defamation if there's no proof? You can't prove it. She could prove it. She
could prove it. Did. No, I guess you can't prove it.
So if you're saying something out the window stuff you can't prove, then yeah, it was like, because say Diddy could not be or have a certain type of sexuality. Saying that, and that's not true, then that could be one thing too.
Yeah, that could be, but then again, we got to go back to statements, opinions,
right? Yeah,
and
freedom of speech.
It could be because
you just don't want
you could literally be like, I think this person has a certain sexuality because of the way they walk. That's not necessarily defamation. That's your opinion. You know what I mean? Or something like that on the way they dress. That's just your opinion. You're not really defaming that person. Then you also
you have the people that's bringing a lawsuit against Diddy saying that they did this and that to him.
Yeah, now you could be accusing them of doing something, and then you're gonna have to prove that. Right. But I'm talking about the things that are hard to determine a defamation, because they could just be opinions, they could just be free speech, saying things like that. Now, what if you? Here's the hard one. What if you actually believe something? At what point does what you believe become defamation if you can't prove it?
You got to believe something with things to back up why you think what you think. Because
doesn't it have to be done negligently?
Yes. So that's why I keep going back to the Chris Brown situation. They went to court about the situations before they even did the documentary. So that's why that stuff was obvious, blatant, ignoring the facts about something.
Okay, so so let's say right now, you go out, you meet a guy, and I think that guy is 16 years old. Am I defaming you? No. I might really believe this kid is 60 years old. Even though you might find out he's 19, but just because I believe it, I say it.
Well, one, it would have to be negative language towards what's happening, for one. So you can't just be stating that is happening. Right. You have to say you're this and that because of what you did. Kind of like what Kendrick is. I don't want to use that example.
Right, I know, but that's the reason why I use that, because I'm just if you really believe it, because you have reason to believe it, whatever. I picked that kid up from school the other day. I know he goes to high school. Whatever it is.
So you're
you might really believe it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, do you have fault when it comes to defaming someone? Or, something like that. So and I'm always here to say this is how hard it is to prove defamation.
Yeah.
Even though somehow Cardi B did a good job of proving it with Tasha K.
There was so many things that went wrong with that one. But yeah, she really was, harassment was a big part of hers too. like because she was doing over and over. She asked her to take it down for several times, and she said, "I don't care." She just left it up.
Well, they said Diddy asked them not to publish this documentary several times.
Right. Yeah.
They still did it anyway. So
that might be one thing that's on his side.
Yeah. And so say I'm doing a documentary and I'm interviewing people who know you, and all I'm doing is like posting what the people said that know you. Am I defaming you?
No, I mean, technically, no, unless it depends on in what way you're repeating what they said.
It's just so much.
Yes, it's so much.
It's so much. And I like to ask questions like that because it makes you think. And it gets everybody thinking, like, how hard is this going to be to prove? I should have did it with Chris Brown, too, but that. I just felt like none of that should have had to happen with Chris Brown. But this is a completely different situation.
Yeah.
This is all stuff that's like really, I mean, this is some strong stuff we're talking about. Like,
yes, I think the thing that makes it,
and it's a lot.
Right. I think that's what makes it not as strong. It's getting to be too much. That's like, is this all really true? I don't know.
Well, in this case, this is just a documentary.
Right, yes. But the documentary, there was all those people talking that didn't have stuff to back it up too.
Yeah, it's a lot of people talking who don't have stuff to back it up. And that's going to happen too. Once people start finding something to, it's almost like it could be because on the other hand, it could be borderline bullying. Yes. Just like now, everybody's accusing you of this, I'm going to do it too. It's almost like kicking somebody while they're down. If everybody else is kicking you, I'm going to get my kick in too. So there's that too. But even with that,
and then
you still got to prove it.
Yeah, and then mind you, with the Cardi B thing, she had to go to court and prove that the stuff wasn't true about her. Too. That's another reason why that wasn't her favor.
And yeah, so you also got to prove that the allegations aren't true.
Yeah,
I would say the only thing about this is the whole more likely than not court case. You just have to prove that there's a more than 50% chance.
Yeah.
In this time that is true in order to win that is not true in order to win defamation. Anyway,
then it's more tricky because when you get a jury on these type of cases, it's all people's opinions for the most part.
It's nothing but opinion.
The demographics of where you're doing the case, all that type of stuff matters more.
And this
type of case.
This makes me feel like this is why they released the Cassie video, because now you got everybody's opinion.
Mm-hmm. Because
everybody's seen something and they have an opinion on it. Now you got a lot of people who believe that's an isolated incident. Yeah, you might have dragged that girl and beat the crap out of her, but it was your girlfriend and that was some domestic thing. Everything else doesn't mean, and I agree. Once you do one thing, it doesn't mean you did the other thing. And I have to agree with that. Just because but I mean, even if you having freak offs, doesn't mean that you doing traffic.
That doesn't mean
it doesn't mean you doing all that other stuff they said.
Right, yeah. The main thing she's getting at is it feels like that doesn't mean that he did something to harm his ex-wife. Seems like for that one.
Right, doesn't mean he harmed his ex-wife, right? I don't know. And then, do they have people on there saying he harmed Biggie and all that other stuff too?
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, yeah, they probably got all that.
I think they're launching an investigation into that whole thing too.
That's a whole other situation. Anyway.
Now, does Diddy have a horrible history? Yes. That does not go in his favor at all because you're setting yourself up for you're about to reap what you sow. In that situation,
is the horrible history what he did to Cassie?
Everything, or just like how he treated people, what he allegedly did. That's why I say people could think of all the bad things that he's done in the past that make you able to paint a picture of him.
And
that's
then
not a good one.
And who knows? Some of this stuff might be true, but you still have to prove it.
Right, you still have to prove it.
Maybe Diddy did come in and whatever you say he did, maybe he did it, but you still got to prove it instead of just saying it. Because if you can't prove it, then you're just talking, and so that's the hard part about that.
Yeah, so I feel like in this one, I think a big thing is going to be character might matter. What people think of you in general.
Yeah, it is a whole lot with this.
Yes,
it is a whole
lot.
a whole lot of. I, in a way, don't even want to watch this because I don't want to be. I don't want to be misled. Right? I don't want to be misled. I don't want people to put things in my head. I kind of want. I want to stay out of it, but I don't want to stay out of it because it's too interesting to stay out of. Of course, it's too interesting to not pay attention. Like
that's too in your face to not.
And it's too in your face. Yeah. Anyway, it's definitely in your face. You can't ignore it. But we'll see. We shall see. All right, we might as well go ahead and move along, and we should probably go ahead and end this one.
Okay.
And then we'll just come right back on in another video and we'll have our wheel and we'll do some more topics. But for now, we're going to go.
Okay.
Thank you for watching the show.
I'm Debbie J.
I'm in Tasha.
Thank you for watching.
Like, comment,
and subscribe.
Thank you.